What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Classic Chronicles. Hope everybody's enjoying their Wednesday and they enjoyed Monday's vlog where I discussed how to start a YouTube channel. If you haven't checked that out, please do, and I will put a link to the video in at the end of this one. So if you haven't seen it, go back and check that out. So today I wanted to get into the other half of my tutorial, so to speak, on tips that I had that I've things that I figured out while trying to start a YouTube channel. And today's vlog is gonna be about how to conduct a successful interview. If you subscribe to this channel, you know that I do interviews in my classic conversation section of the channel. I interview my friends that are doing really awesome things and let them share their stories and give them the spotlight and the time to shine. Um, and just give them a platform to kind of promote themselves, if you will. And one of the things uh, that I found that worked for me is number one, when you're interviewing your guest, know your guest. And what I mean by that is, if you have to do a little bit of research as to what they're doing now, as to what they're currently up to or what they've done in the past, make sure you do that. That's what the internet is for. Don't just rely on them to spoon feed you facts about themselves. That's what makes the conversation flow. If I were to ask if one of my guests is an author, I would say, tell us about your. I hear you have a book coming out called, or a book that's out about, vampires and or whatever the case may be. Tell us a little bit about that, and then they'll proceed to tell you a little bit about it. But lead first. Uh, when you're conducting a conversation. Number two, you know, make your um make your guests feel comfortable. And what I mean by that is, don't pressure them to answer things that they may not necessarily feel comfortable talking about. If they have like a traumatic memory that kind of triggers them, don't force them to don't ask them a question tailored to that and be like, hey, tell us about the time that you were hit by a rock in the head or something like that. Don't do that. It's uncomfortable. It's gonna lead to very, very awkward silence, and they're not gonna want to interview again. And if you're friends with that said person, it's going to lead to a very awkward friendship. So just make them feel comfortable. Um, Always make sure that what you're give them a list of questions ahead of time to make sure that they're comfortable with the questions, and if they're not comfortable answering something, stay away from it. Don't pressure them into answering something that they don't want to answer. uh another thing is uh another thing is uh have have the decency when a guest is getting into when a guest answers something, have the decency to just sit back and listen, no matter how long or how short the answer may be. Don't try to talk over them and interrupt the guests and be like, oh, this, that, and the other thing. If they're talking about, if you ask them a question about, the time that they uh, fall and sprain their and yeah, scrape their knee during childhood. Don't be like, whether they're telling you that story, don't be like, oh, that's what happened to me, and I can definitely sympathize with you there, and all that. Just listen. The interview, when you're interviewing a guest, is not about you. It's about the guest and their experience. I mean, you can kind of tie in some stuff if you've gone through a similar situation, but don't sit there and when you have a guest on and make it all about you, because that's not cool. They're not, like I said, they're not gonna want to, you know uh they're not gonna want to be interview with you again, or they might even tell you, don't post the interview because you may feel uncomfortable, and I don't want people to see that, so, and that's gonna damage your brand. So definitely, uh let the guest lead, and then uh t- chime in from time to time, but don't sit back and listen. That's one of the things that I had to work on, even before I started doing interviews. I had to kind of work on that. Like, somebody would be telling me a story, and I would just kind of cut them off, and it's a very hard habit to break. But when you're interviewing somebody, that is one of the number one things to follow. Just listen. That's all you're there to do. Just listen. Ask them a question and let them answer it. Uh, Another thing is, try to once you're. I know some people are a little bit shy when they're doing stuff like this. I know I was when I first started doing interviews and doing this channel and putting stuff on the channel as a whole. You know, just trying to just kind of make the conversation flow organically. There are some guests that you talk with that, even if you're not if you don't know them personally, that you might develop a good rapport with them, and the conversation may just flow organically, like, and the cameras, you may talk as if the cameras are not even there. Like, I know I've had several interviews where I forgot that we're recording, with some guests, because those they're it's like, you've even though you're like kind of interviewing them for the first time, you kind of feel like you've known them forever, and that's the type of conversation that you want to have, that you want to try to have with you guys. Make them feel comfortable, like I said. Um, Also, what do you call it? Don't If a person says that they don't want to be interviewed, don't especially if you know them, don't pressure them and be like, hey, you should do the interview, and this will make you open up a little bit if you're a little bit shy. Don't pressure them. Just don't do it. If they don't want to do the interview, it's on them. Move on. Find somebody who wants to be interviewed, because I know not a lot of people have trouble opening up. They're very introverted. They're not outgoing, and it takes a lot for them to do something like that. So just kind of don't pressure the guest into you know um, and another thing, if you hear a rumor about somebody, don't about the person that you're interviewing, don't try to play up on that, and try to stir some shit. Don't be the controversial journalist. Because I've seen in a lot of interviews where you know the person doing the interview will hear something about somebody, and then try to stir shit up. Hey, what about for example, this is just a hypothetical. Hey, Kanye, what about the beef between you and Pete Davidson about him, him dating Kim Kardashian? The guy's upset. Don't fucking ask him. Don't ask him about that. Don't try to stir things up when there's nothing there. Just don't do it. Stay in your own lane. Um, Another thing when doing an interview, uh, just let the guests promote themselves. Have a little bit of fun. If they got something that they're doing, an upcoming project, let them promote it. Put it out there. Put the links in the video. If they give you a link to the Instagram page or the website, whatever it is, make sure you put it out there and help them out. Don't and another thing, if your friends got a business, support that business. Don't fucking lowball them and try to get free stuff off of them. Buy whatever they're selling and support it. Don't ask for free stuff because they're your friend, or just at the end of the day, it's a business. They're trying to make money, and the best thing that you can do is support them. So don't do that. And what else? What else? I think I've already covered this, but you know, don't don't make the interview about you. Like I said, just if you want to do that, ask them if they want to interview you, and then you can say whatever the hell you want. But for that time, it's about them. Just let them do their thing. And and that's pretty much stuff that I've learned about doing a great interview. And I've shout out to my big brother and such a good friend and my mentor, one of my mentors, Victor, who texted me the other day and said that he loved my interviewing skills, and they're very good. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's it's so gratifying to know what you do. That what you do is being recognized by somebody who you truly love and admire and respect. So thank you, Vic. Shout out to you and the rest of my PS229 family. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. And with that, we're gonna end this one, and I will see you guys on the next one. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Don't forget to hit that notification button. And yeah, I'm out.